Hello everyone, nice to see you and nice to be here again with you together. I'm very happy that we are here and I'm very happy that you are here again. That's really nice. You are used on 2-person usually as we have these events, but this time we have 3 persons over there and I'm very happy about that. Teodora, welcome, and Roland, of course, welcome as well. Today I have not only Roland as a technical specialist, but also Teodora as a marketing specialist. Hello, Teodora. Hello, Roland.
Hello. It is really great to be here with you today, guys.
Hi. Hello.
Great. Very good. So I'm counting each time if we are starting the lives. So today, this is our 4th live event. And now we are real professionals. So don't worry, we will do it easily. For sure, because the subject and the topic that we want to talk about is very, very, very interesting, and I'm very excited about that. It's research and development around fiscalization. Yes, you heard right, research and development around fiscalization. It can be done, and it makes really, really big sense to do it. And in this talk today, in this live session, we will explain you the details, what is now the decision to do in our company related to that, and what are the details, what do we want, or why do we see it as a necessary in the moment, as absolutely necessary, and what are the topics, let's say, that we will cover. But first, let me give you just some points and just some words about this session as it is. So it's a live event, and we are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn simultaneously, so at the same time. We are doing it every second Tuesday. And the next one will be on 23rd of November, so in 2 weeks. And then we will have a topic about certification and fiscalization in France. Very interesting country, beautiful country, definitely, but very complex fiscalization. So join us next Tuesday as well, same time, 3 p.m. Central European time. And we will talk more in detail about French fiscalization. Today, your host is, as always, a company called Fiscal Solutions. And let me give you just briefly an overview about the company so that you know who we are actually. So the company Fiscal Solutions is already 18 years on the market, quite not bad, let's say. And we started in Romania. It's an interesting fact. Our first customer was Carrefour in Romania, and we developed fiscal reports for them. So 18 years ago, we were developers as we are today. So this is quite good. Today, we are active in 17 countries, and we have actually just 4 products. And I like to compare us, because we have that small amount of products, with good restaurant. Because there is no good restaurant in the world with a bunch and I don't know, hundreds of dishes. They have always just a couple of them, but those dishes are then perfect. It's like with us. So we have just 4 products. The first one is internet portal that we have. So it's a basically digital library where you can download technical, business, and legal documents related to the fiscal requirements. So you don't need to spend hours and hours by searching the laws and the technical documentation about the fiscal law. You just go there, log in, and download the documents that you need. And this over there, it's the address where you can find it. The product number 2 are the workshops. So if it's not enough for you to download the specific documentation about the fiscal requirements, you can talk to us, and we provide you legal and technical consultancies in the kind of workshop. It's usually 1-day workshop, and you get all the information that you need in order to decide how to continue in that country. So it's not, you don't need to buy our software solutions later or whatever. You just get enough knowledge to be able to create your own strategy for that particular country. Product number 3, it's our software, it's our middleware. If you don't want to develop for your POS application fiscal requirements, you can integrate with us once, and immediately you will get a solution for 17 different fiscal countries. It's good, you can save a lot of costs for that, or buy that. And the number 4, and this is the last product that we have, it's called Fiscal Help Desk. If you have any kind of fiscal related problems, like for example, if authority is coming to check your store, if the fiscal data, means tax related data, are not correct, or whatever, we are there to help you. Usually, if you have 2 softwares which you have to integrate, there is nobody who is really responsible for the data in between. If you have our fiscal help desk, if you use it, we are responsible for that. And we are talking, of course, with the authorities. We are defining what has to be done, analyzing, researching, and so on. So that's it about the company. Let me now step into the introduction of ourselves. And may I ask you, Teodora, first to introduce shortly yourself?
Yes. Thank you so much, Darko, for letting me introduce myself. Before I do that, I'll just say I'm really thankful and excited to be here with you today as a guest on Retail Talks, as a first guest, if I may say. Especially
Yes.
because usually I am the host and moderator of our panels and of our fiscal talk show. So to be here as a guest is really a great opportunity for me. So thanks again. And it's also a little bit out of my comfort zone. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to do this. Few sentences about myself. I have background in economics and in business. And I'm also a marketing lover, truly passionate about marketing, communication, and creating digital video content. So just to give you a little bit of history, entering the world of fiscalization was kind of a logical step for me. You know, I studied economics, I did masters. Fiscalization, I heard something about it. But once I entered the world of fiscalization, I actually realized how specific it is. And at first, it seemed very complex, difficult, but with time, it became very challenging. And if I may say, really sexy to work in the field of fiscalization, especially in marketing, because creating content about this topic is truly interesting. And if I may connect this intro with the topic we will be talking about today, actually, when we talked once, I think it was a few weeks ago, we tried to create and get to some information I needed for our content, and we realized there's none. And it was one of the reasons that inspired us to actually start talking about research. So thanks for letting me introduce myself, and I'm giving the word back to you.
Thank you, Teodora. You said something which is really nice and which I really like. Fiscalization is sexy. So this is so good. Yeah. Definitely it is. And if it's not yet, we will make it sexy, because everything around that, the technology, the concepts, the creativity, retail, and so on, this is simply very nice. And I think everybody can enjoy it and will enjoy it for sure. So thank you very much for these very nice words and very nice introduction. Roland, it's your turn.
I didn't have a chance
to difficult now
because it was a short and good introduction. So my name is Roland Zalisevskij, and if you try to pronounce my name, you will never guess that I'm sitting in the Novi Sad. I'm actually here from the first days, and I'm passionate about IT technology from my early days. I've started with programming back since to 1968. Yes. I finished Faculty of Electronical Engineering and started as a programmer in outsourcing company. So it was really interesting for me, and I learned a lot of things in different technology, in different programming language, in different projects. And later on, I switched to retail. It was back in 2004, and since then I'm swimming in the retail and the fiscal ocean with my colleague many years ago. Yeah.
Thank you, Roland. You didn't say that fiscalization is sexy, so not good. Cut out. Go away. But by the way, there is another very interesting wording from other colleague from Milica. She said once, and she's working with us in the marketing team as well, and she said once, "Texcellent." So this is very good. So fiscalization is sexy, and everything else is texcellent. So thank you, guys. Now let me introduce myself. I'm from Croatia. I lived for many years in Germany, then for many years in Dubai, and now I'm back, hopefully for many years again in Germany. I'm sitting in beautiful Hamburg, so very cold area, let's call it, in the north of the country. but it's beautiful. And I'm also in IT industry since 1997, so quite a long time. My career is not that complex because I had just two employers. One was Diebold Nixdorf and another one is Fiscal Solutions. So it's quite easy to make the CV if I have to do it. Actually, I work just at these two companies, so this is good. So that's it about ourselves. For those who are following us, I'm sure that after each of those events, you will know a little bit more about ourselves. And that's good, that's nice. We like to talk about that, about our history and about ourselves. But today we will not talk anymore about ourselves. Today we will talk about research and development. And I would really like to start the discussion and conversation with the definition. What is research and development? Reason for that is because I realized some months ago that not all of us have the same understanding regarding research and development. So don't mix it with software development because it is partially, but not typical product development. So if you take the Wikipedia as a reference, you will find their following definition. Research and development is the set of innovative activities undertaken by corporations, us, or governments in developing new services or products and improving existing ones. So I like this kind of definition a lot because it's not just the point to develop something new, to run, let's say, research, technical or marketing or whatever, and to innovate, to develop something new. But the innovation can be also to improve something what is existing. And I think this is for us very important because there are lots of fiscal countries around the world, and we have somehow to find improvements, to find the special concepts and situations that we can make better. And this is one of the major topics, let's say, that we have and that we see on our part. Unfortunately, there are not that many research and development efforts which are company running and even governments around the fiscal topic. There are several reasons for that, and we will discuss it a little bit later on. But first, let me point out that lots of companies which are involved in retail industry are doing research and development. They are definitely doing that. They are very innovative, and there are very nice products, innovations, concepts, and so on that we rely on and that we use, and retailers use them in hardware area, but also in the software area. Let's talk about self-scanning. Let's talk about barcode scanners. All of those things are or maybe will be in the future innovations that all of us will use in the real life concepts. But we are talking about the fiscal areas and how to use all those innovations and interesting projects and concepts in the fiscal environment. Sometimes it can be really challenging. Roland and Teodora will give you later more details about the status of the research and development around the industry that we have as of today. So we will learn, let's say, what are those guys doing today in order to identify the gaps and to see what are the areas that we will concentrate on. If we are talking about the reason why we don't see so many research and developments around the fiscalization, I think it can be very simple. I think the companies and governments are not really innovating in that area because they don't see real big added values, let's say, around the fiscalization. The companies see usually as fiscalization as something that they have to do. They are forced to do. So it's not something what they want to do because they don't have this kind of passion, let's say. They are not innovating. It's simply like that. On the other side, our perspective is different. We are not forced to do it. We are doing it because we love it, because we want it, because we see the business on behind. This means there is no better party, there is no better, let's say, place than we are to create the innovations. If you are thinking on a similar way, or if you understand the fiscalization differently, please comment this. Let us know what do you think, why the companies like IT providers in the retail industry are not innovating today, why they are not running research and development. Am I right? Is it because they are forced to do something, or there are some other reasons? We will be very happy to see your comments and to see your thoughts about that. Please just use the comment functionality wherever you are in the moment. Okay, so I told you we love the fiscalization, and this is the reason why we want to innovate around the fiscalization. But first, let's discuss a little bit more. Do we really need research and development around fiscalization? Maybe it's enough just to follow the governments and just to follow the laws like somebody is defining. Is it like that? Or do we really need, let's say, innovations and research and development efforts? Let's see the situation from the different perspectives. Let's talk about retailers in the moment as a first. Imagine the retailer coming from, let's call it from Japan, let's say. And if this retailer wants to implement the newest concept, whatever, for example, Pick and Go, in Romania, it will be difficult. I mentioned this in some of the previous lives, but you know, in Romania, you have to use a fiscal printer. So you cannot just take the concept and implement it just like that over there. So you have to take care and to see how to do it. Certainly, you will need some kind of innovations to put all those new concepts in that difficult and complex environments like fiscal law in Romania. If we take the software providers in the focus for a moment, and if we try to analyze their perspective and why do they need maybe research and development, then we will see immediately that if this international post software provider, if they want to provide a good and even better solution than as of today, they have to think about these new concepts, let's say, and they have to think about the countries where those concepts are used. The best product will not help anyone if you cannot use it. So imagine the best post software solution creating a beautiful and nice functionalities, but if you take it to the Germany and German government is forcing you to do something else, it doesn't help. It will not help. So these guys need definitely research and development, and not only technical development, they need, of course, marketing development as well. And regarding this point, we will discuss it a little bit later. But let's discuss, before we step into more details, let's discuss the governmental point of view. Some weeks ago, I had a chance to talk to one of the European governments, and they told me something very interesting as we started the meeting. They told me that they are looking for the ways how to make the fiscalization more effective. So this means they need as well research and development results around the fiscalization, how to make it better, how to make it more interesting and more acceptable by the public, because public is usually taking fiscalization always, at least at the beginning, very skeptical. So the governmental perspective we should not forget. So they need fiscal research and development as well. Okay, so this is great, an overview, but let's step a little bit more in detail. Teodora, maybe you can tell us some numbers around the industry, let's say. What are the other companies doing which are in the industry? How much do they invest, let's say, in the research and development?
Yes, absolutely. It's always important to start with numbers, right? Just to have a better overview of the topic itself. To be honest, it wasn't the easiest job to find these numbers. Some of the companies that are public just haven't published these numbers, so we were not able to gather that information. And then for some bigger companies that have this information available, we have the numbers, but for some of them, we are not sure if that number, which is for the whole company, how much of that number is actually dedicated to research and development, especially for retail concepts, and if I may say, even at the end, fiscalization. But from what we've gathered, industry benchmarks are around 3 to 5%. So some of the companies we were able to find are, for example, SAP, 4%, Oracle 5%, NCR 5%. So we can see that between 3 to 5% is the average number of companies are willing to spend for this kind of research and development. I know that you have the number for what we will do. I'm not sure if I may say that now, or I will leave it to you, just to have our audience, just to make the little bit of an introduction. But I'm really looking forward to you sharing that number, because it's really something groundbreaking. So
I think these numbers are related to the profits, right? So these are the percentages related to the profits.
Yes,
How much do
absolutely.
they invest? Okay,
Absolutely.
great.
Thanks for clarifying that. I somehow had it in mind, but yes, so 3 to 5% of the profits. So all of these companies are investing that much.
This is good to know this number, because this is depending on, of course, on the size of the company and how big is the profit. This number can be really big. So this is good for the whole industry, definitely. Unfortunately, I think part which is related to the fiscal environment is probably around zero, maybe not 100%, because some of the companies are producing hardware, let's say, related to the fiscal environments for sure, and they have to do some kind of research and development, at least in that area. So it's not totally zero, but I'm sure it's a quite small one.
It's quite small. We can definitely say it's quite small.
Yeah. Question to our for the people on the other side of the internet that are watching us now, for our public, for our audience. Tell us, please, if you are in the company which is already running research and development, what would be your percentage that you are investing today in the research and development? This would be very interesting to know, and we would create even better numbers, let's say, and better feeling for the markets. Okay. Okay, so we decided to invest a little bit more, but I will not tell you immediately, just in a couple of sentences, how much. Definitely we decided to do something because we love what we do and we see that it's needed, that it's necessary. So we decided to run this research and development in several steps. First step for us will be to find a dedicated person, let's say, and dedicated team, which will run just the fiscal research and development. So this is the first very big point. We already started looking around at the market, and if you, yes, you, are somebody who would like to join us, please contact me. We really need good people to run this kind of team. It's a very interesting topic for sure. At the same time, and this will be the next step, let's say, after finding the right team, is to create, or even maybe in parallel, is to create a corporations. So this means we don't want to run it by ourselves and alone. We want to include in this process, in these topics, the companies and universities which are already quite orienting themselves in certain areas. If you are maybe software manufacturer or hardware manufacturer and you would be interested in cooperating with us in that area, in the area of research and development, please do not hesitate, contact me and we will establish something. Same if you are from the universities, we want to have the support of the universities around the world as well. So now let's talk about the costs, because decisions means always costs. We decide, you see, if I want to talk about the costs, immediately I'm losing the voice.
No
But
voice,
it's not, no voice, that's it. No, it's not that bad. So actually it's very positive. We decided to invest 10% of our profits purely in research and completely in research and development. And this is great because we will focus this investment on retail technology around the fiscal environment, in the fiscal environment. And of course, we will cover, beside the technology, marketing points as well, because we think that the marketing is very important as a step before you run technology developments, innovation in the area of technology and so on. But Teodora will give you more about that a little bit later on. But before we identify the topics that we will run and that we will do the research and development, let me give you a short overview, or I will ask Roland, to be precise, to give us a short overview. What are those companies, means the famous vendors of hardware and software around the retail? What are they doing now? How much do they do research and development, and what is mostly in the focus as of today for them? Roland, can I ask you?
Yes. There are many areas in the retail industry influenced by the modern technology. A lot of retailers was always fascinated with different technology, and in the last decades we were able to see that they're trying to integrate different hardwares into retail process. So we had and we experienced a different checkout concepts like a self-checkout, self-scanning, and other checkout concepts. The omni-channel was a logical step after the multi-channel sales, and it's hot topic in the last years. We saw a lot of discussion about some fairs and panels. We also can see the evolution for the client-server architecture to do cloud platforms as a trend, especially because of retailers, it's not so modern. If they need to use some modern platform, they try to use a proven technology. And also the big data analytics now being applied in every stage of the retail process today. And there is a lot of space for research and development in this area. Of course, there is also another areas which can be very interesting for the retailer.
Tell me a little bit more about, for example, artificial intelligence, because I think this is also a very, very big topic that everybody is doing in the moment. Am I right?
Yes, appliance of artificial intelligence can be in different area. For one side, you can use it to recognize people in the stores, or for example, to modern shopping concepts. Also, for example, they can be used to recognize different receipts, for example, for digital receipts. So there is a lot of appliance of the AI. I think this will also be very important things in the future. Yeah?
But I think this is, if we are talking especially about artificial intelligence, I think this can be also very interesting in the fiscalization area for everyone, even for the governmental reportings and so on, analysis, right? What do you think about that?
Yes, it's definitely. So can be very interesting. And I think a lot of companies thinking how to apply this, because it's quite new. And I think there is, we will need some time to see which kind of problem can be solved and how they can be solved with the appliance of AI.
This is definitely one of the topics that we were thinking about. So artificial intelligence, not only as a research and development, but also as a feature for our products, because we think that artificial intelligence can really, really help retailers in lots of areas. And in this case, even fiscal governments or fiscal authorities to detect maybe VAT fraud or something like that. So this is quite good, right?
Yes, there are a lot of things which can be detected by the government, and I think they will less use if you compare to retailers. I think the retailer is most keen to apply these technologies. So there are a lot of. Today we can also see some examples like, for example, Pick and Go as one of good example of the usage of the AI technology.
Yeah, we will talk about Pick and Go a little bit more later, because I think this is so nice concept, and I think it's going like a rocket in the moment. If you check the companies and retailers which are just implementing it now, it's impressive for me. So we will continue a little bit later on. I would like just to make a let's say small statement. So the best innovations and the best technologies, it doesn't matter if these are the robots around the stores or if it's artificial intelligence or whatever, will not help retailer to make more turnover if this retailer is not able to use it. And simply some laws can restrict the usage of those new technologies and great ideas. And that's the reason why we want to run research and development. So all of those areas can be great, but you have to put them into the right context, let's say, on the right way. Right, Roland?
Yes. I know that you like the Pick and Go concept.
I like it a lot, yes.
When we're talking about it, yeah?
To be honest, I think even that this concept, Pick and Go, will kill the POS itself, because no need for that. I have everything. I have my phone, great, with all intelligence that I need. And we have the store, which is smart enough, let's say, to recognize me, to create a transaction and so on. So why do we need POS anymore? We don't need it. Really? Am I right?
Yes.
Actually, with right technique, no. So, but okay, coming back to the to the topic, you see now what are the companies like SAPs, like GNKs, like Oracles, like Diebold Nixdorf, NCRs, and so on are doing. They are doing lots of things around the retail, and they are doing great things. By the way, I just saw a couple days ago there is a great system from Bizeba, you know, the scales manufacturer. So they moved into the checkout and they produced the product which is scanning and scaling, weighting, let's say, your trolley if you are going out of the store. So there is a modification, let's say, of pick and go, or more scan and go, let's say. Great. So I'm also expecting lots of things coming, even from the manufacturers, which are not typical POS manufacturer, in this case, Bizeb. So coming back to the topic, we identified, let's say, what those companies are doing. We spend lots of efforts to see what is going on around the world and to identify the gaps and the most important things related to the fiscalization. We identified 3 of them. So the first one are the modern retail concepts. You just saw how passionable are we if we are talking about pick and go. So this is definitely very modern concept, but let's put it into the fiscal environment. If you do this, the problems are starting. So this will be definitely topic for us. The second big issue, and second big topic for us is security. Just think about recent events, like, for example, from Coop in Sweden, or several weeks ago from UK, from Tesco in UK, where the hackers are, doing lots of bad things around the network of the retailers. So you have to protect this. So if you're talking about the fiscalization, we are talking about the 2, let's say, aspects of security. One is, of course, security towards fraud, VAT fraud. This is important for the government. And another one is security of the retailer itself towards data protection, customer data security, and so on, and transactional security, let's say. So security is a big issue. And the third point, and this is now something which I really like, and everybody is forgetting it, and this is marketing. There is no good software development if you don't have a good marketing research before. So you cannot make any kind of conclusions if you don't manipulate the status quo as it is. So you have to have it, and then you have to analyze it, and then you have to make your decision. That's why marketing is very important. Let's start a little bit more to discuss a little bit more about each of those points. Roland, can I ask you to start with the technical part and pick and go maybe?
Yes, so it's amazing technology. I think this is the one of the technology where I was really impressed when the first time I saw it. I think you can also share this with me. Yeah? The pick and go is unmanned store concept with no checkout on the checkout till on the exit. When you shop at one of the D stores, you never need to wait in the queue, and you can just pick up your favorite items and you can go out of the store. So it's really nice, yeah. Well-known example of this concept, it's Amazon Go, which is already running from the 2018, and there is already 30 stores in the US, and there is also a store in the UK today. But on the other side, Europe retailers also started with practicing and learning this concept. So we have a Tesco Get Go and a Rewe Pick and Go concept. This is an answer from the Europe. And they just opening their first Pick and Go concept stores in the last days. So actually in October, I think they opened the first stores. You can imagine that this technology itself, it's already complex. But if we add the fiscalization challenges, then the complexity is just growing and growing. So there are a lot of questions which is coming when we are thinking about these technologies. For example, when to issue the fiscal receipt, how to print it, how to deliver to the customer, how to, for example, solve fiscalization in different countries. In some countries, maybe it's mandatory to accept cash as a payment type, or maybe some other payment types. Maybe you need to support a special transaction types, which is requested in this country. So some countries require even cash register certification. So how to register certificate cash register software if there is no cash register at all? So it's a really interesting topic. So there are a lot of open country-specific questions on one side. And on the other side, the concept pick and go is going to be more and more popular in the near future. Am I right, Darko?
Absolutely. And I think I just want to add a couple of customers and couple of retailers that I know that are just now testing. For example, Żabka in Krakow, in Poland, installed, I think a couple of weeks ago, similar store with similar concept. I know that MAF means Majid Al Futtaim Kafur in Dubai installed as well. And by the way, it's very successful. So there are lots of installation just popping up around the world. And several weeks ago, I had a meeting with a big, one of the biggest retailers in Germany. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you the name, but you will see maybe in the near future, they're testing it as well. So this means that this is just exploding in the moment. Question to our audience: if you know somebody that we didn't mention and that are just testing now Pick and Go, please comment so that everybody have information, this very interesting information. Roland, another big point is of course security, and I think the topic for us is definitely blockchain, because I think it's one of the key technologies. Can you give us some more words about that?
Yes, the blockchain is a system of recording information in the way that makes it very difficult or impossible to change or cheat the system. So the blockchain application, it's not just a cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which is very popular in the last days. So this technology is already implemented in some area of the retail or even in tax administration. So we can name it, for example, in the retail, it's very popular. It's a very popular field where they applied it in supply chain process. Why? Because by using this technology, the product can be tracked, and there can be improving of the communication between different parties which is involved in the supply chain. In the tax administration area, we can see also different application. For example, one of the example is the sharing the customs information in South America. There is a countries like Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay, which are working on the projects to collect taxes from the customs. Yeah. In Europe, there is a project in Finland and Sweden where the government trying to track taxes for the specific group of taxpayer. And I think for our example, it's a most important example in China. In China, there is an interesting ongoing project for the blockchain electronic invoice technology. This helps the authority to trace invoice source and authenticity. Yeah. The blockchain invoice is an example where there are two kinds of technology. When you apply together, then brings so much. On one side, we have an e-invoicing, and other side, we have a blockchain. And we think that this blockchain technology will be included into the fiscalization in the upcoming years.
Thank you very much. So it makes sense a lot, at least for me, related to the blockchain technology, because it could make the fiscalization much more secure. It's more interesting from my point of view than chaining the signature, using the signature devices and so on. It's a kind of software related signature device, more or less. So we have to see, but it's going in that direction. So I see there are already now two topics that we will cover in our research and development efforts. One is Pick and Go as a market, as a retailing concept. How can we use Pick and Go in different fiscal environments? This will be first topic for our research and development. The second one will be related to security, in particular blockchain technology, and how can we use it in the fiscalization. This will be for the governments, for the retailer, and post software providers as well. And the third area is marketing area. And maybe I can ask you, Teodora, to give us some more points about why at all researching in that area and what could be the next topic for us.
Absolutely. So it is, like I mentioned earlier, really great to share this perspective of marketing in this important topic of research and development. If I may start with a personal story. So when I entered the world of fiscalization, my job was to create a content, right? So my number one goal when creating content is to actually provide valuable information to the audience, right? Sounds so logical. So when researching about information in fiscalization, of course, I started with internal resources we have, and there is many. We use them on a daily basis. Our experts are there, and that is something we do. That is our business. And, diving deeper into the topic, I realized some information are not there.
We just lost Teodora, I think.
The information about some
You
parts.
Teodora, you are maybe back, maybe not. So, okay. Let's give her a couple of seconds. Maybe she has to reconnect somehow. And yes, Teodora, are you there?
Do you hear me now? Yes.
Okay, we see you again and we hear you again. So last couple of sentences we didn't get.
Yes, I apologize. So I will start with my goal when creating content, if that is okay with you. I think
got
that's
that,
the part
yes.
You guys probably.
Right.
Yes, thank you. The god of the internet. Everything worked up until now.
It's alive.
Basically, yes. So when researching about fiscalization, I always started with some internal resources, and we have many of those. But for creating some other parts of content, I've realized that some information just does not exist. So I had the opportunity to talk with experts from our company, and it was a true surprise when I realized that, there's no faculty about fiscalization. There's no dedicated book about fiscalization. And it really became a surprise for me. Even though I come from a background of economics, I thought, well, there must be a book that explains it. So now you heard a little bit of my personal struggles when working, but you can definitely see how easy that translates to the importance of research and development and marketing in our industry. So definitely really important. And you can see all of the reasons in my story, but I will definitely share these 3 reasons with you. And number 1 is, missing information. That is the number 1 reason research and development in this area is truly important. Of course, we can say, many companies miss a lot of, different information, but most of those information can be Googled, and these can't. What cannot be Googled? Very simple overviews of fiscalization concepts worldwide, of what are types of fiscalization on different continents, what countries have some types of fiscalization. So even though all of these sounds very simple, it is very hard to find. Some of these information you may find on our LinkedIn profile, and I will definitely use this opportunity to invite you to follow us, because we share it as we research. But a complete research about fiscalization in this area does not exist. So number 1 reason for the importance of this department, research and development in fiscalization, is because we are missing truly important information. And why is this information truly important for many companies? Well, it is truly important because we need this information in order to plan software strategies for software development and other products development. Let's say you're looking to expand your product line, or you're looking where to improve, or you're looking to go to another country. You cannot do that without knowing fiscal requirements, unfortunately, but fortunately, because we will explore it. Fiscal requirements are something that is prescribed by a country, and that is the reason why it is so different among different countries worldwide. So if we look at it like that, it is a very important topic we need to cover. And yes, it is hard to cover it because by looking at it at first, it does not bring any value. Yes, but it is something we must obey in order to comply with the law and actually operate internationally by law. So international companies that are looking for international recognition and are operating worldwide definitely must know these country rules for many countries, which makes them international rules all in all, in order to know how to act and what to do. Let's say you want to expand to a country that has still uses fiscal printers, and you want to apply some of the modern concepts Roland and Darko just talks about. Sometimes it is not possible. So it is definitely important to know this information before and acquire them in order to know how to think and what to plan. Which brings me to the third reason, and that is the third reason of why research and development is really important in our industry, and that is planning for the future. Of course, this is important for all the companies. But, if you look at different industries, some industries are pretty clear. They maybe let you have more, let's say, creativity coming from you. But operating in our industry, we definitely must follow fiscal requirements first and then the rest. So in order to plan for the future properly, we definitely need to know what is the market doing, what will happen tomorrow in the markets. And with these information, we could more easily plan the roadmap. And like I mentioned earlier, the strategies for software development, strategies for different products development, etc. So based on all of these information we will get from the research and development, it will definitely become easier to plan what is the best technology to develop on, what is the best technology we should use in the future, and also in which direction we should go market-wise, if we think about all the fiscal requirements and about fiscalization in different countries, but worldwide, all together, because that is the only way we could see, the true valuable information for us. So if I hope you understand this concept.
Absolutely.
Well, first from the personal story, which I translated to these reasons. But I don't know if you feel it the way I do, but this research and development department in this area will truly bring valuable and beneficial information to many companies, knowing how many countries have fiscal printer, how many countries use online fiscalization versus hardware fiscalization or combined. All of these are truly important information, and having them together in research papers that are longer, that have the beginning, the middle, the end, not just infographics we now do, which are still great and still provide a lot of information, will definitely help everyone set trends, see the trends, and set up where they want to be in the future.
Thank you, Teodora. At the end, I just want to add one small cherry on top. With simple results, we could already reduce lots of costs. And this is at the end the message. So the retailer would work more effectively, let's say, related to the costs. So I like that definitely. Maybe just to add, we see those results that we want to produce as very beneficial for the complete industry, not just for us, but also for the post-software vendors, hardware vendors, retailers, governments, and so on. And that's why we decided to make all those results public available. So we will not keep them for us. They will be free to our audience. If you want, of course, to get the copies of those results, you can comment here, or you can follow us, of course, and you will get on time the information as the results are there. But of course, just simple yes as a comment would help us to know that you want to have these results. As I told you, it's of course free. They will be free. And I think the biggest benefits will be created if everybody can enjoy those results and create own strategies on top. Let me give you a short overview about the steps that we are running now. So just to conclude slowly, first we are organizing the team. That's what we are just doing now. If you want to join the team, just contact us, no problem. Then we will specify in detail these 3 topics that we just discussed a little bit. The specification of the topics will be public available as well. The third step will be to find the partners, and I mean companies and universities which want to join us, of course. And at the end, we will run the research and development as we described and agreed before. If you want to be part of that, as a partner, as a colleague in the team, just contact us. At the end, let's say at the end, Teodora, the question for you, what are you expecting? When can we have the results? This is always the question at the end.
Yes, of course, always the question. So numbers.
Yes,
when?
At the end, when?
How much? How can we get it? Absolutely. I mentioned, but I would like to mention again that we have already been doing some research in the past and are doing right now. And all of these results you can follow on our LinkedIn page and on our YouTube channel as we talk to experts who are in the topic, doing research day in, day out. So that is definitely the place you can already see them and hear them. Specifically for the research and development department, for longer research papers that will definitely bring a lot of valuable information to all of us, which is important. And why is that important? As I mentioned a few minutes earlier, next year is definitely, we can safely say, on our side. You mentioned what we are currently working on. So the beginning of the year is when we expect to actually start working on the research themselves, which brings us to the end of 2022 for some, if we may say, final results of the research papers.
Thank you. And Roland, what about you and the security part and marketing, retail concepts in different environments?
So we are synchronized with the marketing parts. So actually, we have similar schedules. So actually, we plan to have some tangible results on end of the next year. So it's a Q4. But always, if we see the trends that these topics are become hot and very hot, then we can accelerate our activities to be even faster. Yeah.
This could happen, I think. But if this happens, this is good for everyone. Yeah. So, guys, thank you very much. I would like just to put, let's say, 3 points on the table as well. So, point 1, don't miss the next retail talks in 2 weeks. We will talk about France. Point number 2, and now this is something impressive. Before we done this retail talk, I done a small research about our YouTube channel. And I was impressed as I found out that we have already now 108 unbelievable videos, topics covering different fiscal problems in different fiscal countries. So it's a huge free library of solutions for daily problems that everybody has around the fiscal issues. Go there, subscribe, and enjoy the videos. And the third point, if you need more information about any of the countries that we are covering, please just visit our fiscal portal and you can already enjoy lots of news which are free available. You can even integrate the portal in your maybe intranet because we are offering RSS feed, so you can do it free of charge, or you can subscribe and you can get much more details. Thank you very much, Roland. Thank you, Teodora. Thank you. It was great to have you.
And Darko, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, not me. Thank you.
No, truly, okay. Thanks a lot. And thanks for everyone who was with us in the past hour. It really makes a difference to be able to talk to everyone in this way and actually share this amazing news.
Thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks again. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.